It is the first Friday of 2019 and I thought instead of doing a normal daycare video, I would sit down and do a plan with me video, because so many of you guys have been asking how I plan for my goals, how I keep track of everything as a working mom, business owner, daycare owner, YouTube business owner, all that kind of stuff. How do I keep track of everything? And so I thought I would just sit down with you guys while I'm doing my planning, show you guys how I do it. It's not pretty, it's not beautiful, but it's real life, because there are not a lot of working moms here on YouTube, and so I thought I would just sit down and share what I personally do to plan for everything and get everything done that I need to get done. And so I'm here in my dining room. I don't normally have candles lit, but I thought it's my first planning session of 2019, so why not do it right and have a little ambiance and just get real with you guys and share what I do. So I'm just gonna first share what I have with me when I sit down to plan. Now, normally I do like a monthly plan where I just kind of look at the month and I'll write stuff in, and then I plan weekly. And so I'll go through and look at the week and, you know, delegate stuff across the week, and then every night or, you know, nap time the day before, I will plan what I'm going to do the next day, just to, you know, hash out the final details so that I'm, you know, if something comes up, I can add it to the list or whatever, but I always know what I need to do. I utilize mornings, nap times, and night times mostly, but as a mom, we have to be flexible, right? So this is what I do. So in front of me right now, I have my power sheets. At the filming of this video, I have not finally finish them, but I'm very, very close. I have not done my actual January planning yet, but every month I will have this with me. I will fill it out. I will do the tending list and that kind of stuff. And I'll put a link to more about the power sheets if you're unfamiliar with them, but it's a goal setting journal. It's not your planner of like what you need to do per day, but it's just like gives you a good overview of what you have as goals and how you're going to achieve them, and helps you break it down. My end-all be-all planner is my Happy Planner. I've been using these for a couple years now. I've done Filofaxes, I've done, what have I done? I've done Erin Condren life planners, I've done bullet journals, I've done like traveler's notebooks and things like that, but now that I'm in such a busy season of my life, I've just found that the Happy Planner works great. I can customize it as needed, it's affordable, I can always run and grab a new one at Michael's if I need to, and it's just a lifesaver. I have the bigger size, which I really, really like for this year. And then I also have my teacher planner. I will link to this one or a similar one if it's not available in the description. It's just a very simple layout, monthly and then weekly spread for the year. So a week just kind of looks like this. And I mostly use this just for important dates for my daycare and any days like a child's gonna be gone. And then I will write notes and keep track of like how many kids were here for each meal for tax purposes. I also have this little notebook here. This is what I now use for my actual like daily tasks. So I plan for the whole week in my Happy Planner, but then when it comes the day before, I will go into this notebook, and it's really cool because along the top it has, you can circle the month and the date, and then I just make a quick list of what I want to get done. I just like this because it allows me to check things off, and my Happy Planner gets really, really messy throughout the week. It starts out pretty neat, and then as I keep, you know, I'll think of something and I'll quick run over and write it down. It gets really messy. So this helps me make sure I'm actually getting everything done, and I'm like looking at my chicken scratch and putting it in a neater fashion in this little notebook. So I'll link to this below if I can find it. I have my meal plan here. So if you have never seen how I meal plan, I will link to some videos in there. I plan for a daycare as well as our family, so I like to have this here so I know what I'm making when. I also have my dates off for the year handy. I have our little shopping list handy if I need to write anything down, because I often will just think of things when I'm having these planning sessions. And that's pretty much everything I have here. So what I do first, I think I will just start with my daycare planner, write in my days off, and write in any dates that I know certain kids won't be here and certain theme days and stuff like that, just to get my year off on the right foot. Okay, I don't feel comfortable showing my actual January monthly overview because I have some personal stuff on there, names and stuff like that that I don't want to share. But this is what July looks like. I haven't written anything in yet. But what I do for the month is, you know, as I'm thinking of things throughout the year, of things I need to do certain months, or if I'm in, let's say it is July, or let's say it's June and I'm planning for July, there might be some things that I couldn't get to in June that I want to get to in July. So I just kind of start making notes in this little notes section. And then when I get to the month, I'm like, okay, these are things I have to do. And then I'll take those and I go through the weeks and they all have a notes section too. And that's where I start like delegating to the weeks. And then, you know, let's say this is next week. I will, you know, delegate some things I didn't get done last week. I'll start writing them in. And then I know of, this is my list of things that I need to get done this week. For the most part, there are other things like, you know, dinners and dance classes and stuff like that, but that's just like the random stuff, getting groceries, you know, buying certain gifts for people, buying furnace filters, like just anything you can think of, planning dentist appointments. Like if I think of it and I need to do it that week, I write it down here. So when I get to that week, I already have like a list of things I need to do. Okay, so this is my current week. When you guys are watching this, you know, this week has probably already happened or almost already happened. And so this is the week I'm actually planning for when I'm sitting down to film this. And I just want to kind of give you an overview of how I use the planner. So this very first top half that I use this for is for things that need to happen in the morning, or like reminders for myself for that day, because I see that right away in the morning and I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that. I write down my husband's schedule, which I still need to do. And then in this little section, I just draw a line. And what I do for that is I just write down what I'm going to do early in the morning. So I get up at 4 a.m. and I usually am really productive around, you know, from 4 to 5. And then I do my miracle morning from like 5 to 5:40. And so in here is where I write down, like, I'm going to edit videos. I'm going to, you know, work on a recipe or something like that. Something that I need to get done, I write that there. So that's where I look in the early morning to know what I need to do. This middle section I use for what I'm going to do during nap time. You know, I'm a daycare provider, so there is a nap time. Sometimes I get more time than others depending on the kids. So that's where I write down what I'm going to do during nap. And then the bottom is what I use for what I'm going to do that evening. You know, dinners, if there's a class, dance class, you know, any kind of plans that I have for the nighttime, that's how I use that. If I worked outside of the home, I'd probably do it pretty much the exact same. I would just use the middle for any like work tasks or what I'm gonna do during my prep hour or my lunch hour or errands I need to run. That kind of thing is what I would use the middle for in case you are a working mom outside the home. So what I'm gonna do right now is look at my monthly overview and just start writing in things for the whole month. So like things, dance classes and anything going on that's on my monthly overview. I often, when I see something like my daughter has to bring snack to preschool, I will write reminders days before. So I'll remind myself the Friday before to pick up a preschool snack. And then I'll remind myself on Monday to have my husband drop off the preschool snack so that I will remember to have him do that on Tuesday so she'll have it for Wednesday. So I put a lot of reminders because I just want to make sure things don't fall through the cracks. So that's something I do a lot. Okay, so I got that all written up and I'm realizing January is going to be very busy, but good. So now when it comes to planning for this week, I'm going to go back and look at the stuff in this, you know, notes section for the month and see if there's anything I want to do this first week. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fill in the stuff I want to make sure I do. Now this week's kind of different because, you know, I'm off for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and I just have a 3-day week for daycare, but you know, there's still some stuff I can do. What I've been doing lately is doing taxes once a week because I got really behind on it this past year, and so I want to make sure I have everything ready to go by like February. So I'm working on that every Thursday, so that's why that's written in. And then on Fridays I do like budgeting and bill paying, so I always write that in. And then I plan my curriculum for the week, so I write that in. during nap time. But other than that, yeah, I'm just gonna get to planning. My husband and I like to, you know, sit down and plan our month together. So he works all weekend, so I'm gonna do that with him on Tuesday. And kind of go over what I've written down in here and have him write it in his planner so we're all on the same page. About every other week, Celia, my oldest, usually stays at my parents'. They love having that time with her. I love that I can get a lot more done on Saturday, and once my little one gets a little bigger, she'll go too. And they just love having that time together, and it's just something that's nice for me as a working mom that's with my kids all the time, to get a break a little bit and to really get stuff done. So I call those Saturdays my hustle days, where I really try to get stuff done. And every Saturday during nap, I pretty much film these kind of videos. So I kind of plan those out as well. And sometimes I just plan them out as the week goes along and what I'm in the mood for, but that's usually what I do then. And yeah, and then that Friday night, like if San's off, we might, you know, do a little date night at home or whatever, but in general. And then my kids personally bathe 3 times a week in the winter, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, because they're very clean children in general. And we, you know, if they get really gross, we'll do it in between them. But we usually have stuff going on Monday, Wednesdays, and then, you know, Fridays and Saturdays. So it's just nice those other nights to have baths. And then, you know, I don't have a whole lot planned for Wednesday yet, but whenever there's a day that looks like this, as I get closer to that day, usually it fills up. So don't be fooled by that. But yeah, that's kind of it. Now I'm just going to kind of go through and delegate the rest of the month, and write stuff on these note sections for other weeks so that, you know, I don't have to do it all in the first week. And when I write stuff down, it just helps me to know that I will get to it if it's written down, and then I don't have to have it on my brain worrying about it all the time. Okay, so now I'm gonna just kind of plan the rest of my mornings. Okay, now I've got my meal plan out. So we usually prep our meals Sunday during nap or early before church, but I just usually write it in here. So I'm gonna just write in what we need to prep for meals for the week. We're having chicken noodle soup for lunch for daycare on the 7th. So on the 6th, I'm gonna make that just to make my life easier. We will prep this breakfast casserole, this chicken artichoke bake. And if you wanna know more about this, we usually use 5 dinners 1 hour. So I will link to that video below to see more about that. And then if there's any daycare meals I have to prep for, I will write that in. And since I know for sure the next 2 weeks are gonna be what I have here, I'm just gonna write it in for that too. Okay, and now that I have like the main bulk of everything that I need to do in here, what I will do once I have my power sheets figured out is I will have this tending list with monthly action items, weekly action items, daily action items, and some of these things like the weekly action items I can write into my planner when I'm gonna do them so that I'm working on my goals throughout the week. Now most of those things will probably be done during nap time, early in the morning, depending on what they are. I do wanna like get more into working out, just a few minutes a day, so I'm gonna write that in. When I get to that, I am gonna be doing some more planning the next couple days, but I'm just trying to give you guys kind of an overview of how I plan. And you know, I am flexible. Like I don't have anything planned for Saturday morning or Sunday night. I don't have all my videos planned, that kind of stuff. But in general, I know the main things I need to do. I know when I'm gonna do them, and then I have open spaces at other times so that I'm, you know, have some flexibility and can have fun times with my family and stuff like that. So guys, that's basically how I plan. Just wanted to kind of take you guys along so you can see how I do it as a working mom. It's busy, it's hectic, it's chaotic, but it's beautiful and it's my life, and these are the memories that I will have. When you have little kids and you're working and you have businesses and they're active and stuff, you know, it gets to be busy. I try not to get them involved in too much, but even Awana once a week and then dance once a week, and then we also sign up for gymnastics because it's with a couple friends. It's just 3 weeks, but you know, that gets to be a lot, as well as daycare trainings. So it can be kind of crazy. It will be kind of a busy January, but I'm looking forward to it. I would love to know what products and planners and stuff like that you guys use, what system you use. And if you found this video helpful and would like me to make more, make sure you let me know. Give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, and I would love to make some more. So I hope you guys have a wonderful start to your new year, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye guys.